Hello, welcome back to Flouride. In this episode, we're going to be doing a lot of the body work for everything other than the front clamshell, as we did in the last episode. And then hopefully by episode 12, we can finish everything up and paint in that episode. So, if you want to keep updated on the project in the meantime, if I'm not uploading frequently or something, oh yeah, big surprise, shocker, right? You can follow my Instagram. My Instagram is @ChristianWebs. I also sold my soul to the devil recently and got a TikTok. My TikTok is 4bit_Christian. Yeah, it's incredibly cringy to say out loud. I can't believe I got a TikTok, but I'll probably upload just as infrequently as I do here. And then I also have a website, 4bitautomotive.com. You can check it out. Doesn't have much on it, but it looks pretty. But that's all for now, actually, so without further ado, enjoy the rest of the video. I began this episode by filling in the fake body lines that run across the rear clamshell because it'd look less out of place since there's a fender flare right across it. And then I got curious and decided to peel the paint off with a razor blade to see if it was a viable alternative to just putting primer over the paint. It was not. Don't do this. It put far more gashes into the paint than it's worth. It was a big mistake, but at least I know for the future. Then, after figuring out in the previous episode that the fender lips won't fit with the large wheels, I'm removing the lips I added and flattening the area on all the fenders so it's even all around. I sprayed primer onto an exterior piece, and then sprayed 2 coats of flat black onto the inner border of the hardtop. Then we got to work on the inner fender wells. I realized that the best solution would not be to bend the existing fiberglass back, but to actually cut a section out entirely and replace it with a custom piece made that sits further from the wheel. I made the pieces from both sides by taking the cutouts I had and tracing them onto a Teflon plate and using the edges of that Teflon plate to angle it 90 degrees. The reason this is needed to be
The solution is because pulling back the fiberglass would push it up against a hard line, because that space in the fender well is not entirely empty. And it also would not create enough space for the wheel to move anyways. It would still rub against it. And so the solution would rest on fiberglassing a piece in, which proved difficult because you can't just tack it in place like welding. You have to chamfer the edges and make a wedged point for the fiberglass addition to sit, otherwise it won't bond. My initial plan was to put fiberglass along the edges of the plates I made. That way I could fiberglass the joint to the plate and then fiberglass the remaining glass to the wheel well. Unfortunately, this didn't work because the resin seeped far too outwards and it didn't match up with the cutaway section. I'm sinking, no vision, murky water gives me confirmation. I try to live my life, smile when I see you smile. Because the plan with the plates didn't work, I sanded off the extensions I made and started over.
She saw my skateboard, now she call me Skateboy P. No need to cater to the ones that envy me. I'm on the label, but don't mean that anything come free. Come on and savor every dollar you get out of me. God bless, goddamn, God fuck it all. Got the team running up, standing ready to fall. Cross me, get the chopstick, cross your jaw. In the land of the free, but slave to the law. Give a couple seconds to me, please allow me to speak. All the roaches in the cupboards are not all what you preach. You see that I belong to where the white man placed me. Common sense only gets you walking aimlessly. I'm a chipper dapper zipper head that can't break free. From the scarlet letter on my head that kills my seat. Standing on the summit giving myself third degree. Cause while I'm at the top ain't nobody greeting me. Yeah, all these motherfuckers talking, you can say what you will out here. Got a one-track mind, I can go all year. You can call me Mr. Mrs. if that makes you get the picture. I am the big idea. Say what you will out here. Got a one-track mind, I can go all year. You can call me Mr. Mrs. if that makes you get the picture. I am the big idea.
think there's a ghost inside my room, inside my room. Yeah, lock the door and act like no one knew, no one knew. Yeah, why you acting cool? You nothing new, nothing new. Yeah, every time you acting like you do, you prove it to. Get out, I don't really know what you're talking about. Who are you sitting in the back of the room? No clue what to do, I'm trying to do. I feel like a lion in West Africa. Eat the blood in the body of the youth they scream. Not everything is even close to what it seems. They ain't even close to my salary. Ooh. Annoying, annoying, you're so annoying. Always wanna use my shit, that's annoying. You always get mad and trip, let him have it. You're attracted, if you want you can have it. Annoying, annoying, you're so annoying. Always wanna use my shit, that's annoying. You always get mad and trip, let him have it. You're attractive, if you want you can have it. Annoying, annoying, you're so annoying. Always wanna use my shit, that's annoying. You always get mad and trip, let him have it. You're attractive, if you want you can have it. Annoying, annoying, you're so annoying. Always wanna use my shit, that's annoying. You always get mad and trip, let him have it. You're attractive, if you want you can have it.
Sylendanna has entered the chat.
I don't know ya, gotta tap your shoulder. Not to know ya, it was nice to show you what I like. You floating all across the ocean, we just fine. We noticed, oh yeah, we noticed. You acting like you don't know. I can see inside your soul. Can you drop it? We all know. Or I might just have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You is just a fucking bitch. You should back out, you should quit. Shoot 'em down, I never miss. Never miss you. Never miss you. Never miss you. Just so you know, yeah, it's alright. I won't tell a soul, not a soul. Secrets.
So, when I struggled to remove the window seal on the driver's door, I bent it and permanently damaged it, hence the extra care taken in removing the passenger side. Why is it permanently damaged, you ask? Well, you see, it bends and then it won't bend back, even if you hit it against an edge with a hammer. And guess how much this stupid window seal costs? $170 for a piece of rubber. I'll have to deal with that later though, because for now I'm just taping up the door so I can apply primer and then apply flat black paint. I'm painting the interior pieces flat black instead of matching the body color. I'll be painting it. More on this in a future episode. Next episode, probably. Probably next episode. Yeah. Also, when I was using a razor blade to sand down the spot putty, I went into the gel coat and it looked kind of cool. So I kept going. But again, don't do paint work this way. It's not worth it, and it would be difficult to blend the edge of the paint up to where you scraped.
It's alright. Let me see the tears in your eyes. It's okay to cry. Don't know why I even try. See the bye-bye. You acting like you don't know. I can see inside your soul. Can you drop it? We all know. Or I might just have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
At this point, I began to take off the rear clamshell, which requires a bunch of bolts and stuff to be removed, including the gas door.
Never miss you. Never miss you. Never miss you.
This bolt was supposed to be a 10 millimeter, and now it is a 9 millimeter because it was rounded off. You can see it's not even like it's not even straight. So my process was hitting a 9 millimeter onto it, but now it's out. So yeah, I guess we continue on.
I've lived a life of despair, so please don't take my hand. It's all that I have left. It will leave me bereft. The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. The coming years look bleak for the suffered freak. Ascend the widow's peak. What makes the brave man meek? The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. It's here today and it's gone tomorrow. The Norwood Reaper cometh. Of writing back his folly, he calls the hedges holly. Sold by melancholy, betrothed just stolen. The Norwood Reaper cometh.
With the clamshell off, the car looks even more like a go-kart, which is really cool. The visible frame was in great condition, and the rustiness on the driver's side frame rail, though, is it's from those little plate shims, like the spacers. I don't know what they are, but it's not the frame. The frame's aluminum. It's not going to rust.
The Norwood Reaper cometh. It's here today and it's gone tomorrow. The Norwood Reaper cometh.
Eventually, I gave up on sanding the remaining paint because it proved too difficult to flatten it and fade it into the primer beneath, mostly because the positioning of the orbital sander is too awkward to actually get into that angle and do its job right. So frustratingly, I scraped off the rest, and to further aggravate me more, the paint being scraped off took off some of the primer entirely, bringing it down to that orange gel coat in some areas and making it uneven and consequently more difficult to manage.
The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. The Norwood Reaper cometh. It's here today and
After my attempt to feather the paint by adding primer failed to bridge the scraped areas with the paint, I just resorted to scraping off the rest anyways. I was not a happy camper. I tell you what, that's very tedious and very stupid. I shouldn't have done it. Don't do it that way.
It's gone tomorrow. The Norwood Reaper cometh.
I had a lot of trouble recreating the fender liner, or the fender flares, particularly this here, this area, because this just does not look like it lined up. I mean, it would be, you know, super long. So I did some measurements between these holes that it was bolted into, right? So 10.5 inches to here, 13 here to here, 7 over here, all right? Guess what? 10.5, same on the other side. 7, same on the other side. But if you look, 13.5, so there's a ½ inch for some reason where this is further down than it's supposed to be. And that explains why, you know, me needing to cut this off when lining those two up together, the other fender flare, to see the proportions, why I need to cut this off. Because if we put this on now, you see how it doesn't reach the hole? But if it did reach the hole, it would look super long. And that was the problem, you know, the problem I was having. But there's the thing. There's a hole, but ½ an inch back to correct for the difference. And as you can see, it would actually burn up. It would line up pretty well. So thankfully I've identified the issue that has plagued me with this, and I'll be hopefully able to fix it. Who knows? That's the goal, but who knows?
So I was filming with the camera, and then I was tilting the camera mount so that I could face the object I was going to be sanding. And the mount broke off with the camera still on it, and it fell on the concrete, and yeah. So as any rational, you know, sane individual would do, I threw the tripod on the ground, stomped on it, and broke it across my knee. Needless to say, I had to buy a new tripod. So the lens, what happened was actually the lens didn't even, like, the lens didn't crack. It just wouldn't, the camera wouldn't register. It said that it, you know, it's not mounting up properly. So I actually took the lens apart, which I don't recommend doing. I know nothing about cameras, so that was not a fun experience. I was not a happy camper. And I found out that it was the bayonet ring. I replaced the bayonet ring. Still didn't fix the problem. So then I just ordered a new lens. The lens came. We're filming on it right now. The only issue is it's silver. My camera is black. We're just gonna deal with it. It's nice.
No, but there's no fender liners either, so any rocks that get kicked up, they go right into your face. But it's a feature. It's a feature. That's French kiss 'em. $50. French kiss 'em. Goose.